What is up, Jabronis? JJ back here from Run Pure Bets with another free pick for you. This time it's going to be for Thursday Night Football in the NFL. Game's going to be played between the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals on Thursday, November the 19th. Current spread is Seahawks -3, total 57.5. So last week, I dropped the Titans on the money line for Thursday Night Football, but it was nice to hit another Sunday AM best bet. I also said my favorite one half of a teaser was Pittsburgh. So hopefully a bunch of you ended up teasing that one down because that would have been a nice little two-piecer for you if you paired it well. So yes, for those counting at home, it's 2 straight Thursday Night Football losses. Now, why are so many people afraid to talk about losses? On this channel, if I lose 4 games in a row, well, I just take out the clown gear. Sometimes you just have to remember, where your roots are. If you don't enjoy accountability, you're probably never going to enjoy anything on this channel. More or less, you are in the wrong place. Seriously, though, been a decent month for me overall. Hoping to build on it with this play, get on the board for the Thursday night game. Now, this is now the second week in a row where we've had 0 4-0 winners from the comment section. Some would argue it's a small sample. Others would argue folks got lucky early on. We went from averaging like 3 winners a week to now 2 straight weeks with no one. So look, step up your game, folks. As always, comment below with your 4 best bets in the NFL against the spread for the weekend. And yes, a Run Pure Bets shirt will be all yours. Now, why would you want this shirt, you may ask? Because this puppy's a chick magnet, okay? You can update your Bumble or Tinder account pic with this bad boy on. And just watch how quickly that ghost town of an inbox you have quickly fills up. Okay, so now usually this is about the time I talk about my not so glorious life. But look, let's cut right to the chase here. Seattle -3 bones is the play I'm on. Let's talk numbers for a minute. Like the most important part in betting. So about 3.5 weeks ago, I gave out Cardinals +3.5 versus the Seahawks as a home dog. Really like the Cardinals in this spot as the Hawks were a bit overrated in the marketplace at that time. They were undefeated, barely covering spreads, and they were just getting a little too much market love against Arizona last time out in a road divisional matchup on prime time. We now fast forward almost 4 weeks later, and look at this new line. Seahawks -3 at home. This line's softer for the Seahawks at home than it was on the road just less than a month ago. Now, pending how you judge home field advantage, this is nearly a 4 to 5 point swing. Now, I get it. I was a big proponent of saying Seattle was overrated 4 weeks ago. But if this line was Seahawks +1 4 weeks ago, which is what this new line indicates the previous one would have been, I would have bet the Seahawks and ended up losing. I can't express this enough. You bet numbers, not teams. Even me who had Seattle overrated weeks back, I definitely would have been on them at +1 if that was the line, a few weeks ago. Now, the Arizona Cardinals are actually the team that's overrated in the market coming in. Now, sure, the Hawks have shown some vulnerabilities the past few weeks, but these are issues they've had all year. They've just kind of, severely surfaced recently. Of course, with the issue with the run game and the biggest issue, of course, with the defense. Now, these especially got magnified against an elite defense in the Rams. And a game against the Bills where they lost the turnover battle 4-0. But from 4 weeks ago, here's my thing. Can you really upgrade Arizona? I mean, if anything, let's go post-Seattle game. This team's played 2 games, right? If anything, you could argue Arizona actually needs to be downgraded. They trail nearly all game against Seattle before the 2 weeks. They trail nearly all game, and then you get a head-scratching late interception from Wilson, for the Cardinals to seal the game late in overtime. Then they have a bye week, come back, and then they let Tua, who everyone said sucked his first game, versus that elite Rams defense again, toss for 250 against them and lose a shootout to Miami. The week after, they find themselves in another shootout against the Bills where a heroic Hail Mary win late, which I'll touch on in a bit, wins that one. So I'm over here trying to compute why this line swings a sub 4 points in the last few weeks. The Cardinals are 0-2 against the spread in their last 2 games, and this defense has looked as bad as it's looked all year. So are we saying with this line that the Seahawks deserve the 4-point downgrade themselves? I mean, how does this make any sense? So they play a 1 o'clock game in Buffalo a few weeks ago where they lost the turnover battle 4-0, as I mentioned. They were still competitive most of the game despite that discrepancy. Then they hold their own against the Rams, all things considered, but another poor showing in the turnover department. Do we downgrade the past 2 performances from Wilson with the turnover showings? Or has he earned enough credit to just say maybe he had a few bad games? All in all, I've downgraded both teams coming into this game off of the last time they've played, with Seattle getting downgraded slightly more. But a quick note that Seattle does appear to be getting a bit healthier at the running back position with Carlos Hyde coming back. Now, I'm not much of a running back guy, but they've had absolutely no running game with DJ Dallas and Alex Collins. At least Hyde played pretty well the first time these two met, and should be able to bolster this run game a little bit. But again, despite the downgrade, this line's still nearly 2 points off. I'm happy to lay the flat 3 with Seattle. Let's talk on a quick narrative here. How epic was that DeAndre Hopkins catch on Sunday, right? Could argue it may have even been a better throw by Murray, giving his top wideout a perfect jump ball in the end zone. Hopkins still has to come down with it, but ultimately good play by both. Regardless, how does one simply get a good night's sleep after that win? I mean, you remember years back when Diggs did it for Minnesota, and then Minnesota the following week gets rolled by Philly. They're the talk of the town all week, right? Amazing catch, amazing play. This team's got so much momentum. Week later, get blown out. Now this team, 4 days later, has to travel to Seattle for a road divisional game after they just played 3 straight home games. I just cannot envision this team's going to be 100% in the energy department. Also, how about motivation coming into this one? You think Seattle enjoys hearing on local radio how bad their defense is? I just have to figure Pete Carroll has his team much better coached in this one, while Arizona is still kind of reminiscing on their epic victory from last week. I'm going to be happy to lay the 3 here with Seattle, expecting a much better performance from this team all around. Wilson should be able to control the ball much better than he's been. Turnover has been a big issue for him recently, which was not an issue at all for him the first 5-6 weeks. But overall, I do expect Seattle to play better here. I like the 3. It's a pure number play. Think this number's wrong. Happy to lay it. Okay, so let's talk on Prize Picks. Here's my 2 favorite plays over there. I like these both as a 2-player power play. Okay, all the fantasy goodness in this game, right, with all the big name players. But I actually have the kickers' numbers on Prize Picks the most favorable. Seattle's kicker, Jason Myers, over 9 fantasy points. Early in the year, Seattle had this crazy efficiency in the red zone. They weren't even attempting field goals. But this has since cooled off and medianed, if you will. Myers has kicked 8 field goals all year long, 6 of them in the last 4 weeks. In a game where points simply cannot be left on the field, I expect Myers to get a few opportunities and bang them through. Same logic goes for Arizona's Zane Gonzalez, who's having a good season thus far, especially recently. I like him over the 9.5 fantasy points. Again, in a game with massive totals, yards expected in bunches, I also like Gonzalez to get himself a few looks. So again, head over to prizepicks.com, promo code PURE, P-U-R-E, 100% deposit bonus match up to $100. And again, I like Jason Myers over 9, Zane Gonzalez over 9.5. I get it, not the sexiest picks, but that's where I see the most value. And again, Seattle -3 will be the play for me in this game. I want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, thumbs up. Create some fake accounts more. Thumbs up. If you did not enjoy, I hope you fall in a sewer. As always, drop comments below with your thoughts on the vid, and do not forget to post your 4 NFL plays against the spread for some Run Pure gear. We're going to have a live show for Thursday Night Football, as always, and I'll be back Sunday a.m. with Holden, talking Week 11. I wish you all the best of luck with all your bets. Be sure to gamble responsibly and stay safe, folks.